Let us start current affairs. Playing national anthem in cinema halls is only optional. Playing national anthem in cinema halls is only optional. As you all know, 1.5 years back, Supreme Court directed that in all cinema halls, national anthem should be played and all the viewers should stand up for Jana Gana Mana. It is 52 seconds song. Jana Gana Mana goes for 52 seconds. It was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Now Supreme Court told it is optional for theatre owners. It is optional for theatre owners whether to play Jana Gana Mana or not. If they like it, they can do it. If they don't like it, they need not do it. When something is an optional, people will generally don't follow it. When something is an optional, people generally don't follow it. Earlier, related to national anthem, we have one more case called Bijoy Emmanuel versus State of Kerala. Bijoy Emmanuel versus State of Kerala. In this case, in a school, every day in prayer time, the children were asked to sing national anthem. But 3 children belonging to some Jehovah's Witness community who belong to some Christian sect in Kerala stood up, bowed their heads, but did not sing the song. The school principal, after adequate warning, dismissed them from the school. The school principal, after adequate warning, dismissed them from the school. And Supreme Court gave a judgment in this case. If any citizen have genuine conscientious objection, if any citizen have genuine conscientious religious objection, he need not sing even national anthem. He need not sing even national anthem without showing disrespect. Without showing disrespect. Indian secularism is such a wide secularism. Indian secularism is such a wide secularism. You are allowed even to remain silent without singing national anthem if you have some religious objection. India is such a broad secular country, and the case relating to national anthem in movie halls, when it came 2 years back, all the newspapers also wrote Bijoy Emmanuel judgment and said that in that judgment Supreme Court spoke differently, and in this movie hall judgment the Supreme Court spoke differently. Now again Supreme Court told it is optional to play national anthem in movie halls. It is optional to play national anthem in movie halls. E-Samva, E-Sansar, E-Vidhan. E-Sansar, E-Vidhan. There are 2 schemes launched by Government of India to introduce paperless work, to introduce paperless transactions, paperless work in Parliament and state legislatures. E-Sansar and E-Vidhan are the 2 important projects which are aimed to introduce paperless transactions in the legislatures, Parliament and state legislatures. Juma mission. America's secret satellite mission. America's secret satellite mission, Juma mission, is being under consideration, and SpaceX, the commercial space agency, not NASA. It is not NASA, but SpaceX, the commercial space agency, is under this mission, Juma mission. Next, Pratyush, India's fastest supercomputer. The name is Pratyush. India's fastest supercomputer. Its name is Pratyush. That can deliver peak power of 6.8 petaflops. 6.8 petaflops. PETAFLOPS. India's top. Okay, India is number 4 in supercomputers. UK, Japan, USA. In the 4th position, India stands. UK, Japan, USA. After that, in the 4th position, in the supercomputer, fastest supercomputer, India stands. Next article is America announced that there is no change in H-1B rules. More than 6 years, if you stay in USA under H-1B, earlier there was a news that Trump government might not extend visas for them. Trump government might not extend visas for them. Now they have announced that there is no change in H-1B visa rules. Extensions will be given, no modification being considered. No new modifications, extensions are being given. Next article is on hanging. It says, Supreme Court asked the government, central government, to consider alternatives. Supreme Court asked central government to consider alternatives for imposing capital punishment apart from hanging. When you are strangulating a man, it will be painful. So Supreme Court wanted the death of the condemned criminal should be in peace, not in pain. It should be in peace, not in pain. But central government said that hanging is one of the best alternatives. The alternatives like lethal injections might be a failure, they may not yield results. And hanging, strangulation is the better way of dealing with the capital punishment. This is the note of the central government. Next article, question of equality. The editorial today in Hindu is question of equality. Yesterday we have discussed at length about section 377 of Indian Penal Code. Unnatural offences, acts against order of nature, gay marriages, lesbian marriages, relationship between boy and a boy, girl and a girl, comes under unnatural offences. And in Nalsa case in 2014, National Legal Services Authority case 2014, Supreme Court told to recognize LGBTs as third gender. It's a time to promote equality in the society. Article 14, Article 15, Article 21. These 3 articles should be mentioned with respect to LGBTs also. Article 14, Article 15, Article 21. In the wake of recent Puttaswamy versus Union of India judgment, right to privacy is called basic fundamental right. So even LGBTs have this right to privacy. This is called question of equality. Next article. The Iranian crisis is not yet over. The Iranian crisis is not yet over. Iran from last 20 days is under crisis. Under 40 population. The youth who are under 40 have started their movement against the government. Unemployment, corruption and all other important things flared up in Iran. Some of the others comparing this Iran movement with 2009 Green movement in Iran, but this movement is mass based and earlier movement is urban middle class movement. 2009 Green movement is urban middle class movement and the present movement is mostly urban, rural, mass based, young movement against unemployment, against corruption in the system, against draconian laws, everything. Here comes a story in Iran. There are hardliners and reformers in Iran. There are two sets of people, hardliners, reformers. Hardliners are like, they occupy important posts in Iran, controlling the finances, controlling the communications, most of the important positions. They don't want any reforms. Reformers are, they want to bring a change and progress in Iran. They want to see a change and have progressive Iran. We have two sets of people in Iran, hardliners and reformers. First you should remember that. The present president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, is a reformer. The present president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, is a reformer. In fact, P5 plus 1 deal, P5 plus 1 deal, that is Iran signing a deal with P5 plus 1 countries to stop and to come under international surveillance to an extent on nuclear issues is also done under Hassan Rouhani. He was a reformist. But the thing is, the corruption, the systemic problems has to be addressed. This is a major thing. The Iranian crisis is not yet over. Still crisis is going on. Reforms, standard of living, youth, problems of the youth, employment generation, transparency in the system are the solutions for the problem. It is not just a law and order issue in Iran. It is not just a law and order issue in Iran. Next article. Avoiding roadkill. Avoiding roadkill. Bazirao, a tiger got killed in Boat Tiger Reserve, near Boat Tiger Reserve in Maharashtra. It's a road accident. According to Article 14 of Convention on Biodiversity, roads and other developmental projects should not be constructed very near to tiger reserves. It is not the animals which are coming into man's life, it is man who is going into animals' life. Most of the animals are territorial. They require large tracts of land, like elephants, tigers, wolves, nilgais, monkeys. Most of them need large tracts of land. But unfortunately, we are entering into the domain. In India, according to the article, 4% of India's territory is in protected area, but it's around 4.9. The biosphere reserves, the national parks, the community reserves, all these things comes under protected areas. In these areas, no activity should carry on and we should not lay roads to other things. But unfortunately, we are continuing that. In mains, GS3 and even sometimes in GS1, you may get a question for which you should have a very good answer called man-animal conflict, star mark question. Man-animal conflict. That I will explain in some other class. Man-animal conflict. For example, vermin declaration. When an animal causes any damage to the crop or human life or property, the state government can send a proposal to the Ministry of Environment and Forest that the animal should be declared as vermin. Then, if it is declared as vermin, the Central Ministry of Environment and Forest gives a green signal, the state government can kill the animal. Some state governments do this, like nilgais, that is, and monkeys, even peacocks. State governments have sent proposals like this. So we have to discuss on man-animal conflict. Elephants coming into the railway tracks and accidents. This is the thing. And tigers escaping from the forest and coming out to the zone. Tranquilization concept. All these things we have tried in man-animal conflict. Next, agriculture needs a reforms package. Agriculture needs a reforms package. Indian agriculture, you all know, is a gamble of monsoons. Here there are some points. Agriculture is a less attractive profession. It's a very less attractive profession for the Indian youth because we won't get attractive returns. We don't get attractive returns or pay packages if you take up the profession of agriculture. Second thing, the government's MSP, minimum support price. The government's MSP, minimum support price, is low, and also for only some percentage of crop, not to the entire crop. For example, for rice and wheat, it will be around 30 to 33%. For pulses, cereals, oilseeds, it is far less. Only for 23 crops in India we have MSP. Compared to China, China's support system to their farmers is far higher than India. Spurious seeds, contaminated, adulterated fertilizers, no timely rains, no proper irrigation, no institutional lending, no proper market facilities. All these things lag the Indian agriculture, and our farmer was unable to compete in the international markets. We need a strong overhaul, strong reforms in agriculture sector. The crisis of agriculture sector in India is a very important essay for you. The crisis in agriculture sector is very important essay topic for you. Next article is about Nicholas Burns interview. Nicholas Burns was a former diplomat who got posted in White House last year. He was suspended from his office by Trump government. He told, Trump administration have weakened the US. Trump administration have weakened the US, and also it has taken them in the wrong direction. Trump's and Paris deal, Trump and TPP, Trump and NAFTA, Trump and China policy, Trump, North Korea, all these issues, Trump is going with the wrong steps. So that was the thing in the article. And North Korea is going to represent its players in the Winter Olympics in South Korea. North Korea, Kim Jong-un is sending players from North Korea to South Korea for Winter Olympics. One of the good gesture for positive sign that North Korea might come to terms. These are the important current affairs today.